What's up, party people? Oh my goodness, there's just like constant drama, constant drama. So you can look at the background there, and that's what I'm going to talk about here in a minute. What's going on? Where am I at? What am I doing? So, holy shit! I don't even know where to start. So it's Tuesday. Okay, so July 4th. In case you haven't been watching any of my videos, July 4th weekend was like dead. There were no loads on July 4th weekend, and it still hasn't fully picked back up yet. Um, I don't know if maybe it picked up, but maybe there's just a ton of drivers that are coming off of their weekend right now that are just grabbing all the loads, but there's not a whole lot of loads to pick from. I'm having a hell of a time finding loads. So you can see the 3 loads that I just requested. I'm going to be pissed off if I don't get one of them. If I don't get all 3 of them, I might have to cancel all of them. But so I don't even know where to start. let me think about where the hell to start. Okay, so because of the July 4th weekend, I had a choice. I could either sit at a truck stop all weekend or I could sit at my house all weekend. There was nothing that was delivering on the weekend where I could also pick something up on the weekend. I would either have to set on a load until Monday or Tuesday to deliver it, or if I was able to deliver it on Saturday or Sunday, I couldn't find another load in the area until Monday or Tuesday. However it worked out, there was no way that I could keep moving all weekend. And then out of the blue, just bam, this load pops up that's going to Oklahoma City that's not delivering until Tuesday. And I'm like, well, shit. If I'm going to be sitting it all weekend, I'd rather be sitting at the house. So I grabbed that load. I delivered that load this morning to a tire place. It was really convenient. Like the place itself was, it was kind of like sketch. It was, I had to blindside back into the spot. The docks weren't really made for, 70-foot vehicles. They were made for like pups, local delivery stuff. So I was able. It was as far as blindside backs go, it was like the easiest blindside back ever because there wasn't really anything on either side of me. It wasn't a really tight blindside back. It was going into. I guess you could say the dock itself was pretty tight. It was one of those that like goes down into the ground, and the actual dock itself is ground level, so it takes your trailer down into the ground. And it had small concrete walls on either side of it. But all I had to do was blindside to the point where I got a little bit of the trailer into it, and then I was able to straighten out and then straight back into it. I didn't have to blindside the whole thing. It was also like not a very professional type place. Like it's not like a distribution center where they have a shipping and receiving office and all that shit. I just went up to like the main desk where like people come in and have work done on their cars and shit. I had to wait in line. They had a 7:30 a.m. delivery appointment. They don't fucking open until 8 a.m. The guy luckily opened the place up early at like 7:45 a.m. And I was a little snarky. And I said, yeah, I'm here for a 7:30 a.m. delivery. Big smile on my face and everything, but I meant it sarcastically because I was pissed off that they would schedule a fucking 7:30 a.m. delivery when they don't open until 8 a.m. And I had to sit there and wait in line like I was a normal fucking customer. Anyway, they got me out of there pretty quick. It was like an hour to unload. Initially, they told me I was going to have to like get part of the trailer unloaded where I was at and then go to another dock and get some of the tires unloaded at another place. And I was like, okay, you know, I try to be as nice and everything as possible. Let me grab my phone just in case they're messaging me or something on this. I forgot I ran my phone's battery like completely dead. I gotta keep it. It's like 87% charge right now, but I'm turning it back on. I'm gonna be pissed off if they don't approve those really quick, because whenever you request a load, the driver managers actually have to put those loads onto you. And if they don't put them onto you fast enough, somebody else will snag that shit up. And I've had that happen to me. Like, I think I've only requested something like less than 10 loads. And of the 10 loads I've requested, like 30% of them somebody else has snagged up because it took driver managers too long to assign them to me. So yeah, got that unloaded at 8:30. It's now almost 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So I got over here to the truck stop at about 9:30 a.m. And I've been sitting at a truck stop ever since then, refreshing the fucking load list, looking for a load. And it's saying that I have new messages, text messages, but I don't. It's just Google being stupid. I guess I do. OG&E Smart Hours price for electricity. I get a text message like every day. Telling me what the price for electricity will be. So yeah, I've been sitting here refreshing this load list. Let me flip back over that. That is Ottawa, Kansas. Janesville, Wisconsin. Ottawa, Kansas. Let's go to Oklahoma City. And I'll show you what I've been working on with. Like, Dizzity Dam. There's nothing picking up today. I've been waiting for something to pop up in the list that actually picks up today. Today is the 7th, and nothing picks up until the 8th. And as I've been sitting here, there's been 2 or 3 loads that I've been thinking about snagging up. And as I'm sitting there looking at them and researching and stuff, they've just been disappearing. Like, every half-decent load has been disappearing off that board. Even stuff for tomorrow and the next day. Like, I've been thinking about, like, just waiting another day for a load, which I have to wait another day for a load because there's nothing picking up until tomorrow. And the my driver manager, was sending me messages this morning like, hey, are you going to stay at your house after you deliver that, or are you going to go pick something up? And I was like, well, I was hoping to get a load. And she said, well, look at Tulsa. We need help pulling loads out of Tulsa. And I looked at Tulsa. There ain't shit coming out of there today. Like, I've been looking at Tulsa. I've been looking at the damn load board all weekend. Like, all weekend that I've been at my house, up on my second monitor, I've had the load board, and I've been refreshing it. Like, every time I remember to look over at it. Sometimes every 5 minutes, sometimes every 2 or 3 hours. But I've been looking at the load board all weekend for a load, and there hasn't been shit for loads. So, what I started looking at is let's use a chess and checkers analogy. I stopped playing checkers and I started playing chess. I stopped looking like one move ahead. I've stopped just looking like one move ahead in picking a load, and I started looking 2, 3, 4 moves ahead in picking a load. And I finally came up with something where I have a profitable week. Now, there were better loads that were on here, but somebody else snagged them up. The best load that was on here was there was a load going out of Tulsa to Robert, Louisiana. Then there was a 150-mile deadhead to Mobile, Alabama. And then Mobile, Alabama had a load going to New Braunfels, Texas, which I think is a suburb of Fort Worth. And it was paying like $3 a mile. Like, I would have made over $2 a mile on that load. And it was only like a 600-mile load, and it was going to pay me like $1,200. Most of these loads on here, the raw pay is like $2 a mile, and then I get like $1.30 a mile. So that got snagged up real quick. While I was sitting there looking at all the possible loads that I could get after that load disappeared. That Robert, Louisiana load disappeared. And then I started trying to figure out another way to get to Mobile, Alabama. And while I was doing that Mobile, Alabama load disappeared. Like, there's just loads just constantly disappearing off here. We have too many people trying to get loads and not enough people giving us loads. Let's refresh this again and see. Now the top section right here on the current active requests, that does not refresh when I hit the search button. Like, here's a Jinx to Robert, Louisiana. That picks up tomorrow. The one that I wanted to get picked up today, and that one got snagged up. So I'm going to refresh the page, and these are still in request. Come on, driver manager. Hurry up and put that crap on me. So let's switch over to my spreadsheet, and I'll show you these 3 loads on the spreadsheet. These are the ones that I just requested. So it's going from Tulsa, Oklahoma to Janesville, Wisconsin. I can't pick that up until tomorrow morning, real early in the morning. And I'm going to drive up to Wisconsin, and it's a drop-loaded trailer. Let me go back and we'll look at the details on it. It's going to a Dollar General. I hope they'll let me drop it early, because I think I'm going to get there quite early, and hopefully they let me drop it early. It's a drop-loaded trailer. It's not a live unload. It's only 15,000 pounds. The thing that sucks is my next 2 loads are heavy. This is load number 2, going from Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's like a 73-mile deadhead, roughly. It's probably closer to 80. And it's going to Ottawa, Kansas, which is just southwest of Kansas City. This is a heavy load, 41,000-pound load. It's going to Walmart. Walmart does not let you deliver early or late. It's listed as a live unload at 5:30 a.m. I have never, ever heard of I'm going to have them double check the delivery time on that. A live unload at 5:30 a.m. That's yeah, I'll have to get them to double check what the deal is on that. And hopefully they actually do their job. Oh, I've still got it on the spreadsheet. I have to manually flip it around whenever I switch between the. So this is what I was just looking at. What I was talking about is this Kenosha, Wisconsin. It's going to a Walmart now. Walmart 6035, and what is this? This is in Ottawa, Kansas. I've delivered to that distribution center before. Walmart 6035. In Ottawa, Kansas. Yeah, that's a distribution center that I've delivered to before. I don't know what the deal is with that. That is not accurate. That's not a live unload. So they need to figure out what the actual delivery time is on that. But anyway, it shouldn't mess me up either way. My next load after that one, so that one delivers 5:30 a.m. on the 11th. And my next load after that is Spring Hill, Kansas to Portland, Oregon. A&M Products to Petco Foods. So this is most likely dog food. 42,000 pounds. It's a heavy-ass load. I'm going to be going through a lot of mountains. It pays $4,000. It's 1,800 miles. So that's basically 3 days of driving. And I'm going to have like an extra day on it. Because I'm going to pick it up on the 11th. It's a live load. And then in Oregon, it's a live unload. Now, I can only request 3 loads, up to 3 loads at a time. Come on, driver manager. Put the damn loads on me. What the hell? Let's look at these on the spreadsheet. There we go. You can see what they're paying. Let's do what is this? This is in N2 to N4. So that would be my bring home pay, or my pay that I get to the truck. That would be the gross pay to the truck after USA Truck takes out their cut. That would be a ballpark estimate because 2 of these loads are breakthrough fuel, and I'm going to tell you that 10 cents per mile is that's a pretty good estimate on fuel surcharge, because breakthrough fuel is a way to screw you over. So it's a $4,600 week. It could be more than that, depending on fuel surcharge. But that is that's like not what I'm gonna bring home. Let's look at the total number of miles on this, and let's try to guesstimate how much I'm actually gonna make on that. So where's the miles? Let's do J2 through J4. So it's 3,100 miles. Now this is 7 days. This is like exactly 1 week of running. This is 7 days of running. There is quite a bit of downtime in this. I might even be able to squeeze in a 34 somewhere. Okay, so now let's do fuel. So it's 3,100 miles. And how much do I think I'm going to burn in fuel? Let's do Q3 divided by 7. That would give me the number of gallons, and then multiply that times 2. What would be a good? because I'm going to be going into the Northwest. Now, fuel is going to get a lot more expensive. I'm not going to be able to average $2 a gallon. Let's do like $2.20 a gallon. So basically, that's 7 miles per gallon at $2.20 a gallon. It's going to cost me $978 in fuel. So, and then my weekly expenses are, I don't know, like $200, $300. So basically, the Q2 minus Q4. $3,640 would be my bring home after fuel costs. So that'll be a $3,600 a week for me. And then, I'll have, my weekly costs that'll come out of that. So like, I don't know, take like $200, $300 out of that for insurance and my tablet rental and my tax service and all of that crap. It's like, I don't know how much it is. It's like $100 to $150 a week. We'll just say like $300 just to be like overly whatever. So it's going to be like a $3,300 a week for me because I don't have a truck payment. It'll be like $3,300 bring home. So it's a good week. Now let's switch back over and let's talk about what the hell is there coming out of Oregon. Because this is the scary thing about getting over into the West, driving for a company like USA Truck that's based out of, like, they only hire out of the east of I-35. And for anybody that doesn't know where I-35 is at, if you know where Oklahoma City is at, which is in the center of Oklahoma, I-35 runs right through the middle of Oklahoma City and Dallas. It runs straight up the middle of the country. So USA Truck pretty much only operates. As a company driver, you are only going to do loads east of I-35 for the most part. You will occasionally drift a little west of I-35, but usually it's only people on dedicated accounts that go west of I-35 or owner-operators. There's not a whole lot of loads west of I-35 on their load boards. So I looked at that before I went and grabbed a damn Oregon load. So within 250 miles of Portland, Oregon, these are all of the loads. This is everything. So let's say that I grab this Merced, California. It's paying decent. It's not that great, but it gets me down into LA, basically. Merced, California, if I remember correctly, is really close to LA. And then there's a load there going to St. George, Utah. Wait, did I choose the wrong one? Fairfield, California to Centralia, Washington. These are like $3 a mile loads. Lots of $3 a mile. So I did the wrong one. Let's do Mira Loma. Mira Loma must be the one close to LA, like a suburb of LA. There's one from there going to St. George, Utah. Yeah, Redlands, California to St. George, Utah. Now this is the LA area, and there's only like one load there. So it's only 353 miles. It's paying almost $2,000. That's pretty damn good. It's going to St. George, Utah. So St. George, Utah is just outside of Vegas. It's in the very southwest corner of Utah. And then if you go over here to St. George, Utah, and that's like a 28-mile deadhead. That's not very far. Then you go to St. George, Utah. And there's a really good load within 250 miles of St. George, Utah. Albuquerque, New Mexico, going to Fremont, Indiana, not California, Indiana, $3,800 for 1,400 miles. Now, I am not going to get any of these loads. None of these loads are going to be there whenever I get to the point where I'm going to be picking loads. So I'm not saying that I'm going to be able to get these loads. All I'm doing is I looked to see, like, are there loads in this area? Would I be able to get out of Oregon without doing like a 1,500 mile deadhead? And yes, I can get out of Oregon without doing a 1,500 mile deadhead. So I'm going to Portland, Oregon. So I booked out my whole damn week, and I'm stressing out right now because the damn driver managers are slacking hard and not putting the loads on me. And the more the time goes by, the more stressed out I'm going to get. All right, I just got a message. This is just one of the things that they send out every day about weather. Just one of the safety messages they send out daily. There is some kind of special permit for Oregon. Let me get my permit book out. There's a note in here about Oregon. Oregon weight distance tax reminder. Call dispatch before entering. Page 31. Oregon stop before entering. You must call dispatch before entering Oregon in order to receive an Oregon weight distance tax permit. Failure to obtain this permit can and will result in citations or fines in excess of $400 and downtime. Please, do not enter Oregon without this permit in your possession. So, yeah, I'm going to have to. That's the only permit that I can think of that I'm going to have to get. But what's awesome about this is I'm hopefully going to be able to get a nice big, like 1,800 mile, $4,000 trip headed back west headed back east out of the West Coast. Hopefully. And I think that's what is that, a 4,600 mile or $4,600 a week? Yeah, $4,600 a week. I think, given the current climate, the current freight market, that's a pretty damn good week for the USA Truck Load Board. I've heard that the spot market is doing a lot better now, so $4,600 a week for a booming spot market is nothing. Those guys, if that spot market starts hitting off, they could probably make $7,000 a week easy, $10,000 a week if they put some effort forward. So they'll probably laugh at how excited I am at a $4,600 a week. Here's my driver manager calling me. Hello? Hello? The call just disconnected. They just hung up on me. For some reason, it went to voicemail. I'm guessing I swiped the wrong damn way or something. She says that I have to verbally confirm the load. Like, I don't know, like, what the deal is with this verbal confirmation bullshit. She said to give her a call. I'm gonna guess I'm gonna have to fucking call. I hate calling the driver managers. Like, that's one of the biggest reasons I became an owner operator. Driver manager. 2. Hello, LaDonna. This is Daniel. You just called, and I think I swiped the wrong direction. CW52. Charlie Whiskey 52. Uh-huh. And I can pick it up at the earliest at like 2:30 a.m. Yeah. So I can drop it anytime before 1800. That's what I was going to ask. Is like it had a set appointment, but it was listed as a drop, and I'm like, well, can I get it there earlier? Okay. Okay, so anytime that I see something listed as a drop, and it has just a set time instead of a window, it's any time before that. Okay. What about my... Yeah, but they have windows. Oh, but... Okay. What about my other 2 loads that I requested? Okay. All right, so... Yeah. It's all good, as long as I get them all. Because I kind of planned all this around getting that big Portland load. So if any of these... Oregon. I looked at the load board to see what there was coming out of there, and it looks like I'm going to be able to get back home. I may have to bounce down to California, and I might have to do a decent amount of deadheading, but it looks like I can get out of there and make some money. I'm hoping, at least. We'll see. Well, we're about to find out. So the Kenosha, Wisconsin to Ottawa, Kansas, that's a brokered load that you're going to have to do some stuff on. Oh, Okay, so whenever you're doing that, can you figure out what the deal is on the delivery? Because it's listed as a Walmart load and it's listed as a live unload. Okay, so that's all good. It doesn't matter if it's a live unload or a drop to me, but I've never done a live unload at Walmart. So if it does stay as a live unload, please let me know, like, how early can I get there? Okay, so if it stays as a live, then I can only get there an hour early. Okay, and if whenever you move it from a brokered load to whatever, you'll automatically put the window on there if it moves to a window, if it moves to a drop. Okay, that's all good. Just as long as you know, as long as I know what's going on. Yeah, it's gonna that one look it's gonna be a live load, live unload. I'm sure everything when I get over to the West Coast is gonna be live because I doubt we got yeah. 'Cause yeah, understandable. All right, so just how long do you think it'll take to figure out um, get all these moved over? Like you can tell right now whether or not it's okay. Cool. I don't want to get a message that somebody else snagged that Portland load, and I'm like, crap, I wouldn't have picked all those other loads if, if I didn't get that Portland load. Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you get back to doing that then. All right. Thank you very much. Bye. All right. So I think you probably heard that call. So the what the deal is the first load that I picked of Kimberly Clark. That's one of our loads. The other two loads are brokered loads. Brokers just like put shit on our load board, and the owner operators can snag that up. They can probably assign them to company drivers as well. Who knows? I don't know how it all works, but there's a conversion process that takes place, moving it from a brokered load to a regular load, and she is in the process of getting everything moved over. She said it's only going to take her about maybe 10 minutes to get all the loads moved over from brokered loads over to assigning them to me. So, all good. She said the reason it's showing up as a live unload is because it's a brokered load. I'm going to tell you right now. Are you looking at this? Do you see where it says not from load board? That really good, nice paying load that I got that was going from the Niagara in Oklahoma City to Tulsa, delivering to Winco Foods. It paid like $900. That said not from load board on it. So now I know every time it says not from load board, that means it's a brokered load. Um, so I'm going to, the best paying loads that I found on the load board are ones that are brokered loads, apparently. So, sweetness. So she's already got the Ottawa, Kansas one on me, and she's working on the Portland, Oregon. I need to send a message to her about the. What do I need to do about the Oregon permit? Period. I have a note in my permit book to call dispatch if I go into Oregon to get a figure out what it said. Weight distance. A weight distance permit. Period. What do I need to do about the Oregon permit? Should have put a question mark there. I have a note in my permit book to call dispatch if I go to Oregon to get a weight distance permit. There we go. So yeah, she doesn't think I'm going to make it out of Oregon. She thinks I'm going to get stuck in Oregon. She said that I wouldn't take a load going to Portland. And really, it's not that amazing of a load. If you think about it this way, on the load board, there are several loads that I could pick that are around, under 700 miles, which is how many miles you can do in a day. We'll say roughly 600 miles a day. There are several of those loads on the load board that are around 600 miles that pay approximately $1,000. So that Oregon load, it's like a 4-day load, and I'm going to make about $3,000 on it. So I'm not even getting $1,000 a day. I'm getting like $700, $800 a day on that load. Because what was it? Let me flip back over to the spreadsheet. So the Oregon load is right here, Spring Hill to Oregon. It pays $4,000. I only make $2,700 on it, and it is from the 11th to the 15th. So basically 4 days for $2,700. Let me bust out my Kukalater here. Let's do 2775.55 divided by 4. That's $693 a day. And let's do the mileage. It is 1,800 miles. 1,801 divided by 4. That's 450 miles per day. So basically, that is exactly the same as going out and getting a load that's 450 miles that pays, what was that, $700? Yeah, $693.88. So $700. 450 miles and paying $700. So that Oregon load is not amazing. It's decent. It's solid. It's not amazing. The thing about it is that it is, there's a big difference between doing like 3 or 4 450 mile runs and doing one big 1,800 mile run. Without all of the time on the drops and the hooks and the live loads and the live unloads and all the rest of that crap, that is so much free time that you have that you're not going to spend doing all the rest of that crap. I don't know why. I forgot to ask her what the hell is with the verbal confirmations. That's the second time she's done that with me, where she's told me that she had to get a verbal confirmation. She doesn't do it with all the loads. I think it's just the Kimberly Clark loads, and maybe it's because Kimberly Clark is one of our biggest contracts, and they don't want people showing up late for them. Um, they want to confirm the appointment time so that there's no excuse for you showing up late and fucking up the contract for everybody. So I don't know what the deal is with that. So, but I'm about to go over to the west and deal with brokered loads. So what does that mean? That means that I'm going to participate in the spot market. So the spot market is supposedly hopping, and I'm going to get out on the west coast, and it's all brokered freight over on the west. It's all live loads, all live unloads. There's no dropping hooks over on the west. That's what we were chatting about on the phone. So I'm going to get out on the west, and I'm going to get back to the east. That's what I'm going to do. I'm not planning on loitering over in the west. I'm not going to hang out over in the west. I plan on getting back east as quickly as possible. So we'll see. The drive to Portland should be pretty damn nice. It's a decent amount of mountains. It's actually quite a lot of mountains because I know I'm going to be going through Colorado, through some mountains in Colorado, and I'm going to be going through some mountains in Idaho, and I'm going to be going through some more mountains in Oregon. I'm not going to be going over Donner Pass because I'm going to be taking 80 across. I'm going to be taking 70 to basically to Denver, and then I'm going to be jumping up to 80, and then I'm going to take 80 over to Salt Lake, and then I'm going to take 84 up to Oregon. Just crush it out, and I'm gonna when I get there, I'll check and see if they can take the load early because I'm gonna be there like a day early, and I'll just have to check with them and see if they'll let me deliver early. I got all 3 loads. Do you see that? All 3 loads are planned on me. So now they can't say that somebody else snagged them up before me. It hasn't been moved over. The very first one hasn't been put onto me as a started load yet. Let me see. In order for them to move the load to me into a started status, 216011. They need to know what empty I have. So I'm just going to send a message saying I have empty 216011. That way they'll be able to put the load on me in a started status. And I'm just going to get out here and crush it. And I think I'm good to go at my house for like 3 or 4 weeks without any major issues. I am having a problem with the APU. I hope that it is a minor problem. I'm hoping that it actually just self-corrects. The APU basically overheated and turned itself off. What the deal was my coolant in the truck dipped down below the minimum level. And when I opened up the cap to put coolant in, there was like a huge amount of air pressure in there, some kind of pressure. And when I opened up the cap, it relieved pressure, and the coolant came back up and went back over the max fill area. And right after that happened, the APU started smoking, and shortly thereafter, it just shut off. So it was overheating. So I started up the truck, and now the truck is going to circulate the coolant. I'm not sure if maybe there was just an air bubble in the line or what the deal was with the coolant, but I'm hoping that the truck is able to somehow get it back on there. Let me look. Let's see here. I'm going to Janesville, Wisconsin. I don't think I'm going to be driving through Springfield. Actually, whoa, yeah, I am going to be driving through Springfield. So that's awesome. So I could potentially swing by in the morning to Strafford, Missouri. Come on, Google. Load up. I'm on my cell service Wi-Fi, so it's not like amazing internet. So Mount Vernon, there's a TA there that I love stopping at. And then where the hell is Springfield? Right there, Strafford. Springfield, Strafford. So I'm going to be driving through Strafford. Strafford, there's a TA there. That's going to be the last cheap fuel. So I'm going to top off in Strafford at the TA. So what I'll do is I am not going to start my 14-hour clock right now. I'm going to wait until about 1 a.m. Actually, I'm probably going to wait until about 2 a.m. to, you know what? I might actually wait until even later than that. Okay, so you don't want to start your 14-hour clock too damn early. Like if I drove up to Tulsa right now, I would have to find a place to park for 10 hours once I got there. So I'd get there at like 6 p.m. and I would have to set somewhere for 10 hours. So that'd be like 6 to midnight is 6 hours plus 4 hours. So like 4 a.m. I would be able to drive. So I'm just going to, I can leave, my 10 hours is up right now. I have my entire clock. I haven't started my clock yet. So I'm just going to sit here until probably about 2 a.m. And it's going to take me 2 hours to get here. So I'll get there at 4 a.m. My trailer should be ready, hopefully, by then. I pick up my trailer at Jinx at 4 a.m. And then I leave. And it should take me approximately 2 to 3 hours or so to get to Strafford, Missouri, which is Springfield, right here. Now, it might only take me a couple hours. So let's look at this APU Center. I think it's apucenter.com. All right, she just assigned the load to me. She says we can order one on Monday the 13th. Thanks. All right, so I'm going to have to remember on Monday to remind her that I need a permit for Oregon. All right, this is the APU Center place in Strafford. Let's see where. Wish list, my car, checkout reviews. Where the hell is there? Where are their hours of service listed? Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. So let's see. What the hell? It's 1,200 miles to Janesville? That don't sound right. Oh, I think it's backtracking um, Jenks to Janesville, and then it's coming back to Stafford, Missouri, or Stratford, Missouri. Um, so it's 3 hours from Jenks to Stratford. So I want to get there at 8 a.m. approximately. So that means I want to leave Jenks at 5 a.m. So if I leave here at 2 a.m., I get to Jenks at 4 a.m. It takes me about an hour to drop the load. I'm leaving there by 5 a.m. and I'm getting to Stratford by 8 a.m. So I'm going to leave at 2 a.m. And let's do Janesville, Wisconsin is not 1,200 fucking miles. All right, so it's 722 miles, 10 hours and 45 minutes. Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I was freaking out. I was like, holy shit. I totally screwed up on all of my planning. Man, 1,200 miles to Janesville? They're not paying me enough for that load. That load only paid like 1,200 bucks. Like that's like 80 cents a mile. What the hell? So I'm gonna fill up. I'm gonna top off in Stratford because Stratford's like the last cheap fuel. St. Louis is not very far from Stratford. So Stratford is in Springfield, which is right here, and then this is St. Louis right here. And there's a TA in Troy, Illinois, which should be right over here. There it is, Troy, Illinois, right there. That TA is like 30 cents a gallon more than the TA right here. So I should be able to get enough fuel in Stratford to make it up to Janesville, Janesville over to Kenosha right here, somewhere over in that area, and then Kenosha, Wisconsin, back down to Ottawa, Kansas, which should be over here in Springfield somewhere. So I'll probably come down here and then cut across here. And there should be cheap fuel over here in the Kansas City area. And then from Ottawa, Kansas, which I believe is right down in here, right there's Ottawa. I'll need to get back up to the 70. So I will probably take 59 up to Lawrence, and then in Lawrence, I'll hop on 70. And then to get to Portland, it's going to be 70 to Denver, and then Denver will take the 25 up to the 80, 80 to Salt Lake, and then 84 goes all the way to Portland. 84 goes from Salt Lake to Portland. See, 84, 84, 84, 84, all the way down to the 80. So I'll take the 80 through Wyoming and then take that up through there. So, and then Portland, I would ideally love to get a load going out of Portland straight back east, but I might have to go down I-5 all the way down to LA and then get something coming back to the east. Let's add in all of my destinations. And that's it. That's my week right there. So it doesn't have me taking 59 up, but I don't know how sketch these are. I know 75 is a good highway. So yeah, that might actually be what I do. Is this? I'll probably take this route that it's suggesting right here because I know 75 is a good highway. So whatever this 68, 268 is, if it's truck worthy, then that's probably what I'll take across there. But that short little section right there is the only sketchy section where I'm not going to be on an interstate. I'm actually in Oklahoma City, not Jinx, so I didn't put Oklahoma City in there. So Oklahoma City to Jinx, and then we go up to Janesville, then Kenosha, and then we come back down to Ottawa, Kansas, and then we're going to Portland, Oregon. 48 hours of total driving, and it's 3,224 miles, 3,224 miles. And my paid miles, we switch back over to the spreadsheet, my paid miles is 3,113, and it is 3,224 actual miles. 3,113 paid miles and 3,224 actual miles. So I've only got like 100 miles of out of route or unpaid or deadhead miles, whatever you want to think of it. So I don't have a whole lot of deadhead miles on that. So that's really awesome. I think that's a good plan. I think that's a good week. And it's going to be a real easy week with a lot of downtime. I shouldn't be pushing my 70 very hard. 48 hours of total drive time. So if you add in about 5 or 6 hours for whatever, at the end of 7 days, I'm probably only going to have like 55 hours used on my 70. And I might be able to squeeze in a 34 in there somewhere. If I get somebody who won't let me deliver early or pick up early, then who knows? Let me fill up my glass of milk. I love this fridge. So yeah, I'm gonna probably swing into APU Center tomorrow morning and have them just take a look at the APU, figure out what the hell's going on with it. And if the water pump went out, the water pump is under warranty because I just paid to have that damn water pump replaced. So that has been my day. Now that I've got all of that planned out, I can't schedule any more loads beyond 3 loads. I can only have 3 loads on me at a time. So I'm not going to start looking for my load coming out of Portland until I make my delivery in Janesville. Then I can start looking for a load coming out of Portland. I kind of wish that I could have more loads on me at a time than 3, but it is what it is. But because it's going to be so sketchy getting out of Oregon, it's all going to be brokered stuff. I'm going to try to find a load coming out of there as soon as possible. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that I need to do that I'm procrastinating on. I need to, there's still some stuff I need to do with my tax service. I need to take pictures of my bill of sale for the purchase of the truck. And I can't remember what else I need to do. That is a nice T780 right there. Might even be a newer model. Might be a T880. Looks like he has LED headlights. That's something I'm really frustrated with on this truck. Is this truck has the exact same headlights that the Kenworth I had. The Kenworth had, and they are like the worst headlights ever made. They are so bad. I think there's some cheap aftermarket headlights I could buy that are like LED headlights. There's a whole bunch of stuff like that I've been thinking about doing for the truck, but I've just got to I got to get some money rolling in. I can't just keep having outgoing expenses. I'm just burning through money. But I'm about to just start rambling, so send my fuel request. Sometimes I like the fuel routes. This particular time, I don't need a fuel route. I know how I'm going to get to Janesville. It's all interstates to get there. But sometimes the fuel route is really nice because I know the fuel route that they give me uses a truck routing program. So it's going to put me on roads that I can legally be on, and it's going to put me on the easiest to drive on roads. It's going to give me the best truck route. Now, whenever I leave Ottawa, that's the kind of place where I'm going to look at the fuel route and see where it's sending me. But right here, leaving Oklahoma City, going to Jinx, and going to Janesville. No, this is all interstate. This is I-90 all the way up to Janesville, and then this. I don't know exactly the exact address in Janesville is not in this map. That's just going to the center of town. But to get to the Kimberly Clark here in Tulsa. Kimberly Clark is... Where's Kimberly Clark at? Kimberly Clark is... should be... It's 44, 364, 75, and 67. Kimberly Clark should be right here. Right there is Kimberly Clark. So Kimberly Clark's right there. and Google is going to want you to take like 121st Street and all kinds of weird shit. Those are trucks are banned on those roads. There's no truck signs all over the place on that shit. So the way I get there is, I take 44 up to 364, then down to 75, and then take 67 over to right here, and Kimberly Clark Place, and then drive up, and then right here's their main entrance. This Highway 64 right here and Highway 75 look the same, but Highway 75 has like one stoplight, and it's about a 50, 55 mile an hour speed limit most of the way. It only has one or two stoplights on the whole thing. This Highway 64 is like a city street. There's a stoplight every 10 damn feet on this road. I only go down 64 when it's like middle of the night. During the day, this is a really, really, really congested area, and there's a lot of shops and businesses and restaurants and stuff. So there's tons and tons of stoplights. So during the day, even if I'm headed east, I'll still go back west and take 75 up to 364 and then go east. Or take 75 all the way up to 44 and then go back to the east. This Highway 64 over here, only take that crap in the middle of the night. Sometime when it's really slow traffic. So yeah, that's the big plan. We'll show you the spreadsheet again. Those are the loads that I'm taking, going from Tulsa to Janesville, Wisconsin. Janesville. Now I made I made the best out of my situation. There were a couple of better runs that I could have gotten, but other people snagged them up before I could get them. And I'm still going to end up with a pretty solid week. Anything approaching a $5,000 a week right now at USA Truck is a pretty damn good week. And that's a $4,600 a week, and then after fuel, it should be a $3,600 a week, and then after all of my expenses, it should probably be about a $3,300 a week. So I'm going to get $3,300 put into my bank account for that week. That's not too shabby, given that right now is a really shitty market in trucking. And I think I'm going to get back to watching Clash of the Titans. Yay! Clash of the Titans! I just finished watching the intro to it. And that's when I was sitting there, refreshing the load board, and that's whenever I found go back to what I was saying about playing chess. That's when I found the loads. I finally found a nice connection of loads where I was going to be able to be profitable for the week and make some solid money on the week. So we're gonna make some money, and we're gonna get back out west. It's just gonna be big, wide open roads. Oh my goodness, that little fella. There's some guy riding around with his kid, flatbedder. His kid is so tiny. Looks like he weighs about 30 pounds. He hopped out of that truck and he was like all gangly and he's running around. Like, what the hell, man? I was looking to make sure there's some, like he was just running around, make sure somebody wasn't going to run him over. It's so tiny. But yeah, this will be my first full week of driving since I've been an owner operator. The when I first got the truck, I did like one load. Was it 2 loads or 1 load? It was 1 load, and then I deadheaded like 250 miles to my house because I couldn't find anything going to my house. And then once I got to my house, I ended up taking like 2 weeks off. And then when I left my house, I got up to Chicago, and it was like Thursday or Friday, heading into the July 4th weekend. And I couldn't find shit for loads running over the weekend. So I found a load coming to Oklahoma City that didn't deliver until Tuesday. I was picking it up on Friday. So I ended up, just coming back to Oklahoma City and taking another like 2 or 3 day weekend. So I've had a tremendous amount of time off since I've become an owner-operator. And now I'm going to... it's telling me no fuel solution, bad zip. Whatever. It did that to me last time. Let's see what the 73125 zip code is. Where does it think I am? Well, Oklahoma City. So it doesn't know how to do a fuel route from Oklahoma City. It's saying bad zip code. So I don't know. All right, well, I think that's about it. Let's just check one more time to see if there's any really awesome loads in Oklahoma. Did I screw up by not just waiting? Nope. No. The list is just shorter. There's just fewer loads. Now, it looks like there's a couple of new loads. This Gordonsville, Virginia, I don't think was there. I think that's a new load. The San Antonio might even be a new load. That pays decent for going to San Antonio. And there's some decent loads out of San Antonio. Check this out. I think there was a FedEx load coming out of San Antonio that or the San Antonio area. What? Line haul revenue, like, are there seriously no loads in the San Antonio area that pay over $1,000? What the hell? There's no way that is crazy. There are no loads in the San Antonio area. Houston to Oklahoma City pays absolute crap. New business cannot fail. TMC hours Monday through Friday from 7 to 3. This is business I don't fucking want. You see how cheap this shit is? Just, whoever the stupid ass salesperson is that's low bidding this shit needs to get fired. We don't want this business. This is shit. Now, there was some. Well, it's probably gone now. There's a FedEx load. It had to be picked up by noon. And it was a team run. And I was sitting there thinking about whether or not I could make that run as a solo. It would have been really close. Here's one for $4,200, 1,700 miles, going to Maryland. This is probably a FedEx load. Yep, FedEx freight. All of these really big loads need a team. Must be 4-kite tracked. Appointments are firm for FedEx. So you have to be tracked with some 4-kite. I don't know what the hell, if you have to install an app on your phone or what the deal is with this. Picks up on the 7th and delivers on the 9th. 1,700 miles. So that would be a 3 driving shift load. Yeah, I think a team would have to do that. I don't think I could do that as a solo. So the 7th to the 9th from 5 to 5, that would be 48 hours plus 5. That would be 53 total hours. So what would be the minimum hours I would need to do that? Let me get out my calculator. 1,700 divided by 60. Did I hit the wrong button? It would be 28 hours of drive time. So 11, 11, and 6. So you need 11 and 10. That'd be 21. And 11. That'd be 32. And then 10 would be 42. And then 6, that'd be 48. And you have 53 hours. So a really badass sumbitch like myself could do that as a solo driver. And maybe have like 5 hours to spare. If you had your full drive time available to you whenever you picked it up at 5 p.m., it's a live load. So let's say they take 3 hours to unload you. That would eat up all your free time. You would have like no time to spare. But if they got you loaded really quick in under 3 hours, then some badass sumbitch like myself could make this delivery as a solo. Yeah, hopefully I can snag up one of these nice paying FedEx loads. Let me see how much this would pay me. Switch over to the spreadsheet. Let's just drop it in right there. So I would make, the load pays $4,200. I would make $3,000 off that load. It'd be $1.80 a mile is what I would make on it. Not that, it's not crazy, but it's good. It's still really good. And this is the rate that I'm going to be making. Let's see what my average rate is. So how would we calculate that? It would be the sum of, let's do all the mileage. So it'd be J2 through J4 divided by all of the rate, which would be, or no, it's the other way around. We'll flip it in a minute. It'll be N2 through N4. Give a bad value. So it is is that not what I'm wanting to do? All right, so I'm going to have to figure out how to do an expression within an expression. Here's another way to do it. We'll just do Q2 divided by Q3. So that's my total amount of money I'm making on the load, and the total number of miles is $1.48 a mile is what I'm averaging mileage-wise on that week. That's quite a bit under the $1.70 a mile that I was hoping to make when I got on with USA Truck as an owner-operator. But whenever I made those plans, the whole Wuhan virus had not happened at that point. So I've been estimating approximately the load board is paying approximately 10% less than it was whenever I made my plans. So 10% of $1.70 is 17 cents. So that brings it down from $1.70 a mile to $1.53 a mile. So at $1.48 a mile, I am really close to what I was hoping to achieve. So I'm still in the ballpark, and that is not the most optimal week. So I'm hoping that things are going to pick up. It's not just the price of loads that's a problem right now, it's the quantity of loads. You're having to grab loads off the board 2 or 3 days in advance to get loads. And the loads that come up like last minute they're gone off the load board like that. People are snagging them up. Other owner operators, all the load coordinators that are pulling for the company drivers, they're just snagging these loads up like crazy. So the only loads that really sit there are ones that don't pick up till tomorrow or the next day. The stuff that's popping in that picks up today, that stuff is disappearing off the load board really quick. So that's another thing about getting out west and working off the brokered freight. I'm hoping that if I get out there and I'm working off that brokered freight, I'm not going to be competing with a whole bunch of people here at USA Truck. I will hopefully be able to get those loads and not have to worry about them getting snagged off the board so quickly. So anyway, I think I'll end the video there. I'm going to watch Clash of the Titans or something and try to take a nap. And I'm going to get up at about 2 a.m. and head to Tulsa and start this whole week out. So Um, let me think. Okay, so wait a second. Let's go back over here. Now, I know I'm going to be making over a 7-day period, but as far as the paycheck goes, um, so Saturday is the 11th. So I'm going to have every one of these loads delivered except the Portland load is going to go on to this next week's paycheck. So I had a load that I delivered today that paid me $1,100. It was like an $1,800 load, and Mike's share of it was $1,100. So that one is going to go on this week's paycheck that I get paid on next Friday. And then I'm going to have these other two loads that are $936 and $906. So $1,800 plus $1,100. That's going to be like $2,900. So this upcoming week should be like a pretty solid paycheck of like $2,500 or something. After my insurance and everything comes out. So I'm finally getting to a point where I'm making some decent money. But we'll keep rolling from there. But I said I'm going to stop this video about 10 times and I haven't done it. So let's get some fathead. Oh, man. All right, let's properties, deactivate, activate, and now it's working. So I'm just sitting in the truck. You're on my my booth. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to shut the truck off and I'm going to turn the APU on and see if it's still overheating, so I can think about whether or not I'm going to stop at APU Center on the way in, because I know that it had something to do with the coolant, and maybe with the truck running and cycling the coolant, maybe it got coolant into the lines over there for the APU. I don't know. I'm going to turn it off, turn that on, see if it made a difference. And I think I have enough time on this load. Let's see. The Jinx, Oklahoma doesn't deliver. Okay, so that's something I was talking to my driver manager on the phone. She said the only two places that I cannot deliver a drop trailer early at are Target and Walmart. So I can deliver to Janesville, Wisconsin as soon as possible. Let's see. Kenosha is July 10th at 10 a.m. So it doesn't actually do me any good to deliver early on that drop trailer to Dollar General or Dollar whatever. It's some Dollar's distribution center. Because my next load is a live load that I'm going to have like a lot of extra time on. So, let's see, it's 722 miles from Tulsa to Stratford was 3 hours, right? So that's probably like 180 miles. 8 a.m. So from there, it would only leave me with 722 minus 180. I'm only going to have 542 miles left from Stratford. So I could, yeah, I'm going to have so much time, and it should not take them too terribly long at APU Center to fix whatever's wrong with APU, because there was a whole bunch of shit wrong with my APU last time, and I was out of there by noon. I got there at 8 a.m., and they were done by noon, and they had to do way more shit than what they are going to need to do with it this time. So, yeah, I mean, 4 hours should not delay me at all. That shouldn't be a problem at all for me to swing into APU Center. So I'm going to test out the APU right now, and then I'll try to get a nap in and, you know, get going and everything. I've been up since 5 a.m., so it's 4:25 p.m. right now. 4:25 p.m. right now. So in 30 minutes, I will have been up for. Actually, I got up at like 4:30 or 4:30 a.m. So I've been up for like 12 hours or something, looking for loads in all the wrong places. So I should be tired any minute here. I'm going to run in and use the bathroom once I try out the whole APU thing, and then I'm going to try and get some sleep. I'm not going to bother filling up fuel here because I'm almost at a full tank. I'm just going to push it to Strafford, Missouri, fill up at Strafford, and then on the way back down, I should be able to get cheap fuel, hopefully in the Kansas City, Missouri area. And then I'm going to have to try to find somewhere to fuel up before I get to Oregon. Actually, Oregon is known for having cheap fuel. Like Troutdale, Oregon, doesn't have fuel tax. And that's a place to get some really cheap fuel. So I might actually be able to fuel up somewhere in Kansas on the cheap, and then fill up in Oregon, and then hopefully not have to get too much fuel in California if I go down to California. Yeah, I don't know. We'll play it by ear. I don't want to. I'm thinking, 10 moves ahead right now, and I need to focus on the here and now, and hopefully I don't have any major issues with the APU. I'm kind of pissed off that the APU is crapped out on me again. It's overheating. I just paid like $700 or $800. I don't know. It was $1,200 total, but that also included installing and purchasing an inverter, which luckily the inverter is not having any issues. But yeah, need to figure out what the hell is going on with the APU situation. I think the water pump crapped out on it. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a good one. Enjoy yourself. And I hope you're out there doing well and making money. Thanks for watching. This is a really long video. Have a good one. Bye.